Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving deep into something pretty fascinating, transforming how you drink wine.
Yeah, taking it from, just a casual glass to something more structured. A guided sensory experience, right, in your own home.
Exactly. Our mission isn't just talking about wine, it's giving you the tools, the actual technical framework that sommeliers use.
So you can lead a tasting, whether it's super relaxed or more of a study session.
Right. Moving past just, I like this, to really understanding why you like it. Or maybe why you don't.
And, the thing to grasp right away is how much doing this in a group changes the game. It amplifies everything.
Because wine is social, isn't it?
Totally. And tasting together, it's not just about sharing the wine itself, it's about sharing how you perceive it.
Okay, so my earthy might be your, I don't know, damp leaves.
Precisely. It's what the source material calls cross-validation. Someone might say sweet spice, and someone else refines it, like nutmeg.
Or vanilla.
Or vanilla, exactly. You're building this shared vocabulary together. It calibrates everyone's palate. You move from just opinion to, shared understanding.
Okay, so if we're aiming for that kind of rigor, it feels like bias is the big enemy we need to tackle first.
Absolutely.
So how do we structure it? Who does what?
Well, you need clear roles. Think of it like having a guide and active learners. We use the term amphitryon for the guide, the sommelier, or the host figure.
Okay, the amphitryon. What's their job description?
Purely structural, really. They set the theme, manage the time, maybe 10, 15 minutes per wine so nobody gets palate fatigue.
Right, keep it moving.
Keep it moving, make sure everyone understands the terms being used.
And the key anti-bias rule for them.
The golden rule.
Yeah.
They only reveal the technical details, the producer, the region, the vintage, after everyone else has shared their analysis.
No spoilers. That makes perfect sense. Stops the label influencing what you taste.
It's probably the single most crucial thing for an unbiased tasting.
Okay, that's the guide. What about the learner, the participant? What's their commitment?
They need to be engaged. An active observer, open-minded, willing to share what they perceive honestly.
And discipline.
Yes, disciplined in taking notes. The sources really stress capturing that first nose, the initial aromas, before swirling.
Because they vanish quickly?
Exactly. Those really volatile, delicate scents are gone in moments. Got to write them down.
Okay, we've got the rules. But how strict does it need to be? Is it always spittoons and tasting sheets, or can we adjust the intensity?
Oh, absolutely flexible. It really boils down to your goal. There are basically two main tracks you can take.
Okay.
First is a casual encounter. Think social focus, immediate enjoyment, telling stories.
Right. That's more about the narrative, who made the wine, where it's from, the story of that particular year. Fun, relaxed.
Precisely. The analysis is simpler. You're encouraging descriptions like, tastes like red fruit, not getting stuck on complex jargon. It's about discovery without pressure.
Then there's the other end. For the real enthusiasts, the students.
That's the Masterclass Technico. Here, the goal is pure rigor, developing your palate, deepening technical knowledge.
So tasting sheets, maybe points.
Often, yeah.
Right.
Standardized sheet, maybe 100-point based. The discussion gets focused on quantifiable things. Acidity, tannins, body, how long the flavor lasts, persistence.
And digging into details, like oak.
Exactly. Is it French oak or American oak? What's the impact? And you might structure it as a masterclass, vertical or horizontal tasting. We can talk more about those later.
Okay, so whether it's casual or technical, if you want to do it well, you need to control the environment first. Eliminate those variables.
This is where so many home tastings fall down before they even start. Professionalism means control.
Starting with light.
Yes, lighting is critical. Has to be neutral white light or natural daylight if you can get it. You need to accurately judge the color, the clarity, the limpidez, and the intensity.
So my cozy yellow lamps are out.
Definitely out, sorry.
No.
Yellow light, red light. They completely distort how you see the wine, especially its age. An older red might look young and vibrant under the wrong light.
Ruins the visual analysis. Got it. What else?
A neutral background, always. An opaque white surface behind the glass. Tablecloth, napkins, plain paper, you need contrast.
Makes sense. And smells.
Total elimination of other odors. No perfume, no scented candles, no cooking smells lingering. They're off flavors that contaminate your nose before you even get to the wine.
Okay, room prepped. What about the tools? The essential kit for doing this at home?
Keep it standardized. Good quality crystal glasses, transparent, ideally with a rim that curves inward slightly.
Like an ISO glass or a standard white wine glass?
Exactly. They help concentrate those volatile aromas. And for chilling, this is important. Use a bucket with ice and water.
Not just ice.
No, The water ensures the cold is transferred evenly and much faster. Just ice cubes leave air gaps.
Good tip. Okay, palate cleansers. Can I have some salted almonds between wines?
Nope. Strictly neutral. Plain still water, non-chlorinated. And plain bread or simple water crackers. No salt, no oil, no seeds, nothing flavored. You want a clean slate.
Right. Reset the palate completely. And for the more technical tastings, the tool people might find surprising.
The spittoon. If you're tasting, say, 5 or more wines seriously, it's essential. Non-negotiable, really.
It's not rude, it's practical.
It's analytical, keeps your head clear, prevents your palate getting overwhelmed, and lets you taste the later wines accurately.
Okay, environment set, tools ready. Now, choosing a theme. How do we structure the tasting for actual learning?
This is where comparative tasting comes in. 3 main structures are classics. First, vertical tasting.
Vertical, going up and down through time.
Exactly. Same wine, same producer, same label, but different vintages, different years, or saffras.
So you might taste a Cabernet Sauvignon from 2018, 2020, 2022.
Perfect example. It lets you see how climate changed the wine year to year and how that specific wine ages.
Okay, that's vertical. What's horizontal?
Horizontal is the opposite logic. You taste different wines, maybe different producers, different grapes even, but all from the same vintage.
Ah, holding the year constant.
Right. It's brilliant for seeing how different terroirs express themselves, or how different winemakers approach the same vintage, like comparing 3 Malbecs from 2021, but one from Mendoza, one from Chile, one from Cahors in France.
Really highlights the place, or the style. Okay, third method. You mentioned bias earlier.
This is the ultimate bias buster. Blind tasting. A cegas, as they say.
Models hidden, in bags or foil.
Yep. Concealed identities. It forces you to rely entirely on your senses, stripping away any prejudice from the label, the price, the reputation.
Sounds intense. Requires discipline.
Strict protocol. Because you're removing information, you have to be even more careful that everything else is consistent. Same temperature for all wines, same amount poured for everyone, pure sensory analysis.
Okay, that structure leads us perfectly into the how. The actual professional method, the 3 stages: look, smell, taste. Let's start with the eyes. Visual analysis. What's color telling us, especially in reds?
Color is your first clue to age and condition. A deep, vibrant violet usually means youth, maybe high extraction in winemaking.
And older reds.
Look for changes at the rim, the edge of the wine in the glass. If you see brick red, garnet, orangey tones, that's oxidation over time. It signals evolution, age.
We also look for clarity, right? Limpidity.
Yes, limpidity or clarity.
Yep.
Usually means good, clean winemaking. Although some wines are intentionally unfiltered and might be hazy, that's a stylistic choice. But murkiness can also be a fault.
And Brillo. Brilliance.
Brilliance, that sort of sparkly quality, is often linked to good acidity, a sign of freshness.
No, I have to confess something. Those trails down the glass, the legs or tiers, I always thought thicker, slower legs meant better quality wine.
Ah, the classic myth.
Yeah.
You are definitely not alone there. So many people think that.
So it's wrong.
Completely wrong in terms of quality. Slow, thick legs just indicate higher viscosity. That's mainly due to higher alcohol and sometimes higher glycerol. It means the wine might feel fuller, warmer in your mouth, but it says absolutely nothing about whether it's actually a well-made, balanced, or complex wine.
Okay, myth officially busted. Good to know. Let's move to stage 2. Olfactory analysis. Smelling the wine. We mentioned the first nose being crucial.
Absolutely. Before you swirl, just stick your nose in. That's the first nose. You're catching the most volatile, delicate aromas, often the primary fruit or floral notes.
And you swirl.
Then you swirl vigorously. This is the second nose. Oxygen gets mixed in, releasing the heavier, less volatile compounds. More complexity emerges.
And we categorize these smells.
We do, typically into 3 families based on where they come from.
Which are?
Primary aromas. These come directly from the grape variety and the terroir it grew in. Think black pepper in a Syrah, that grassy or asparagus note in Sauvignon Blanc, pure cherry in Pinot Noir. It's the grape's signature.
Okay, primary is the grape. What's secondary?
Secondary aromas come from the winemaking process itself, especially fermentation. Think yeastiness, bread, brioche, biscuit notes, especially in traditional method sparkling wines from lees contact, or buttery, cheesy notes from malolactic fermentation.
And the third category must be from aging.
Exactly. Tertiary aromas. These develop over time either in barrel or bottle. Vanilla, clove, coconut from oak, or those fascinating notes in older wines. Kerosene in aged Riesling, leather, tobacco, forest floor in aged reds. Complexity built over years.
The smelling stage is also where we catch flaws, right? Wine faults.
Critical for that. You need to be able to identify the big three off flavors. First, TCA, cork taint.
The dreaded corked wine. Sounds like.
Damp cardboard, wet basement, moldy newspaper, unmistakable and unpleasant. Second, oxidation.
Like an apple left out too long.
Exactly. Bruised apple, sherry-like notes, maybe even vinegary. The wine loses its freshness, its fruit. And third, reduction.
That's the opposite of oxidation, lack of oxygen.
Correct. Often happens during winemaking if it's too protective. Can smell like rotten eggs, burnt rubber, struck match. Sometimes a bit of air helps it blow off. Sometimes it's a permanent fall.
Okay, eyes, nose. Finally, the mouth. Gustatory analysis. Taste. But it's more than just flavor, isn't it?
Oh, much more. We're analyzing structure and balance here. How the different components interact. We talk about soft elements versus hard elements.
Soft being.
Sweetness, if any, and alcohol. Hard elements are acidity and tannins.
Let's break those down. Acidity.
Acidity makes your mouth water right on the sides of your tongue. It gives the wine freshness, life. It's a structural backbone, especially for aging.
And tannins, that drying feeling.
Yes, that astringency, that slight roughness or puckering sensation, usually on your gums and the sides of your tongue, comes from grape skins, seeds, stems, and oak.
And we need to judge their quality.
Crucial. Are they green, harsh, unripe tannins, or are they ripe, smooth, polished tannins? Big difference in quality perception. Alcohol we feel is warmth, maybe a slight heat in the back of the throat. It adds to the body.
Okay, so we're balancing sweetness, alcohol, acidity, tannins. What else defines the mouthfeel?
Two key things, body and persistence. Body is that sense of weight, viscosity in your mouth. Is it light, medium, or full-bodied?
What contributes to that weight?
Mainly alcohol, but also glycerol, sugars if present, and something called extrato seco.
Extrato seco. Dry extract, what's that?
Basically, everything in the wine that isn't water or alcohol. The dissolved solids, minerals, tannins, color compounds. Higher dry extract means more density, more texture, gives that chewy feeling in some big reds.
Got it. And the final measure, persistence.
Yes, persistence. How long do the positive flavors linger after you've swallowed or spit? This is a key indicator of quality.
And you measure this, how?
We actually measure it in seconds, using a unit called a Caudalie. One Caudalie roughly equals 1 second of flavor persistence.
You're kidding. We literally time the finish. That's amazingly concrete.
It's the professional standard. A simple wine might fade in 2-3 Caudalies. A truly great wine might last 10, 12, 15 seconds or even more. Long persistence equaled high quality.
Wow, okay, that's the core method laid out. But let's talk advanced techniques, things that really elevate the tasting, starting with maybe the most common mistake people make at home.
Temperature. Yeah. Without a doubt. Get the temperature wrong, and you've basically sabotaged the wine before you start.
How so?
Too cold, and it clamps down on the aromas. You won't smell much. It can also make acidity seem harsh. Too warm, and most modern rooms are too warm. The alcohol becomes dominant, volatile, aggressive. It masks the fruit.
So we need specifics. Give us the cheat sheet, the key temperature ranges.
Okay. Light-bodied whites, sparkling wines, really cold, 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. That's like 43, 46 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Fuller-bodied whites, maybe oaked ones, and rosés. A bit warmer, 10 to 12 Celsius, 50, 54 F. Lets the complexity show without the alcohol biting.
Reds. Light ones first.
Bit reds. Think Pinot Noir, Gamay.
Yeah.
Definitely need a chill. 13 to 15 Celsius, 55, 59 F. Brings out their freshness.
And the big guys, Cabernet, Syrah.
They need cellar temperature, which is cool, not warm room temperature. So 16 to 18 Celsius, 61, 64 F. That's the sweet spot for balance.
Significantly cooler than most people serve reds. Good to remember. Okay, Next technique, aeration or decanting. Seems controversial. Decant everything, nothing.
It depends entirely on the wine. Decanting does two very different things. First, sediment separation.
For older wines.
Exactly. Wines maybe 10 plus years old often throw a natural deposit. You decant slowly, carefully, often using a light source under the bottleneck to pour the clear wine off the gunk. The goal here is minimal air contact because old wines are fragile.
Just getting the clear wine out. What's the second reason?
Oxygenation.
Yeah.
This is for young wines, especially big reds that feel tight, closed, maybe even have a touch of that reduction smell we talked about.
So you pour more vigorously.
Yes, you want to splash it around a bit, introduce oxygen. It helps soften harsh tannins and lets the aromas really open up, become more expressive.
Any wines you shouldn't decant.
Very old, fragile wines, say 30 plus years. They could fade incredibly quickly with exposure to air, often best served carefully straight from the bottle.
Good caveat. Okay, what about quick experiments we can do during a tasting to show how things interact? Mini harmonizations.
Yeah, these are great fun and really illustrative. Try the salt and fat test. Take a fairly tannic red wine, taste it, then take a bite of something fatty and slightly salty like creamy goat cheese, or even just a plain cracker with a bit of butter and salt.
Okay.
Then taste the wine again immediately after. The fat coats your mouth, the salt counteracts bitterness, and suddenly the tannins seem much softer, the wine fruitier.
Wow, so the food literally changes how the wine feels structurally in your mouth.
Instantly. Another good one is the concentrated acidity test. Take a very crisp white wine, like a Sauvignon Blanc, taste it. Now put just one tiny drop of lemon juice on your tongue.
Just a drop.
Just a drop. Swirl it around, then immediately taste the wine again. Because your palate has just adapted to that intense acidity from the lemon, the wine's own acidity will feel much milder and the fruit character will seem more pronounced.
Sensory adaptation. Clever. One more test. You mentioned tools mattering.
The glassware test. Simple but powerful. Take the exact same wine and pour it into two very different glasses, say a standard narrow water glass or tumbler, and a proper wine-bowled wine glass like a Bordeaux or Burgundy shape.
And compare.
Compare everything. Sniff them side by side. Taste them. The difference in aroma intensity, complexity, and even how the wine feels on your palate will be stark. The wider bowl allows more air contact, concentrates aromas differently. It proves the glass isn't just a container, it's a tool that shapes the experience.
That really drives home the point about using the right equipment.
It really does. The glass is like a neutral conductor, letting the wine express itself fully.
We have covered an amazing amount of ground today, from, the philosophy of tasting together right through to timing the finishing Caudalies and playing with salt and lemon juice.
It's a journey, isn't it? The main takeaway, I think, is that whether you go casual or full-on technical, this kind of guided tasting is incredibly rewarding. It takes a bit of disciplined preparation, the right tools, a structure,
But the payoff is huge.
a much deeper connection, a real understanding of what's in your glass.
Yeah.
You move from just drinking to actually perceiving.
So, to wrap up, here's a final thought for you, our listener, to ponder. Next time you have a glass of wine, try to push beyond just identifying the grape or the oak or how old it is. Challenge yourself to sense the terroir,
The big concept.
the big one. Not just the soil type, but that whole unique, complex web. The climate, the slope of the vineyard, the microbes in the soil, the history, the human choices, everything that makes that specific place different from anywhere else on Earth. Can you taste the place?
That's the ultimate goal, perhaps.
Yeah.
Sensing the origin.
Something to think about. We'll see you on the next deep dive.